But for now I got that old Crown Vic. Outside I wanna take you away. Oh, I wanna take you away. Oh, I wanna take you away. And I know you're searching for something, and you want to be wild and free. There ain't nothing there that can save you, babe. But there ain't nothing here but me. So come on, baby. Come on, baby. Oh, come on, baby. Come on, baby. Oh, come on, baby. Come on, baby. Let's go. Let's go out tonight. Oh, baby, let's go. Let's go out tonight.
Hey everyone, welcome back here to the Green Flag Racing League here tonight as it is on the Checkered Past and Present YouTube channel. We are so happy that you are choosing to join us here on your Saturday evening. It's going to be a real fun one here tonight. Obviously a lot of playoff implications. If you're just joining us here, we just had qualifying and we had a newcomer get the pole. Loaderman is going to be in the number 48 car here this evening. Was the man that will lead us to the green flag here tonight. So it's going to be a very interesting bunch when we drop the green. Again, Loaderman is going to be on the pole. 49-year-old West Virginia boy is how he describes himself. Again, piloting the number that Jimmy Johnson made famous there. We're so happy that you're joining us. Again, come on in and stay a while. This is the Green Flag Racing League here on the Checkered Past and Present YouTube page. I'm Brett Loftus. Again, this is a podcast that I co-host along with Mr. JB Booth. He's known as Beezy to those in the league. He'll be piloting the number 5 car here tonight. Beezy's 7th in points this season. He's won 2 stages as well. But the man that we're really going to be talking about tonight, he's driving the number 20 car, Mr. C-Fan. He's just a big DeWalt guy, it seems. He grew up liking Matt Kenseth and Christopher Bell, and he's been driving like prime Matt Kenseth here as he's won the last 3 races, 2 of those being points races. He's first in points this season, and he's actually won 3 straight poles. Again, that being ended tonight, though, by Loaderman. So, again, just a few moments away from starting the race. And, again, we will be able to load into that. And we will talk to you guys here in just a moment. Loading in here momentarily here on the Checker Past the Present YouTube page. All right, welcome into the Pennzoil 400 at beautiful Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Again, this is the second time we're here in Las Vegas this season. Happy was able to pilot the win back in Vegas number 1 early on in the season. Looks like green flag is getting ready to drop. Is the 48 car Loaderman in his first start of the year, in his first pole of the year, takes us to the green flag, and we are underway here in Las Vegas. We get Happy driving the 4 car up there on the high line. Starting second tonight was Dark Knight. He's got 1 win this season as they come out of turn 2 for the first time, and Beezy hits the wall. They're all piling up down the backstretch here on lap number 1. Looks like we're going to have an early caution as the 24 car slams into the outside fence as well, as that is going to be Hellraiser. So again, not even able to make one complete lap here tonight between the two Hendrick cars. Get pretty banged up here early. So again, during this caution break, we'll take a short moment with them as well. So now that we're able to pit, and now we'll restart it back up. Hopefully we can complete more than one lap here as Dark Knight and Loaderman lead them back to the green flag here. Again, if you're just joining us, we had a wreck there on lap number 1 as the 5 car and the 24 car got into it. Again, 2x2 as we exit turn number 2 for the second time tonight. Head down the backstretch. Dark Knight at the point thus far. Looks like the 4 car trying to get up front here. And Happy, if you mentioned it at the top of our broadcast here tonight, was able to win race number 1 here at Las Vegas. Again, with this package, and as with equal as everyone has been here this season, it reminds you a lot of a new Atlanta type, as everybody can pretty much draft and you can run 2x2 there for a while. Again, the Green Flag Racing League on the Checkered Past and Present YouTube page, just the inaugural season of it. And here in the inaugural season, Las Vegas, one of the few tracks they're going to go to twice. This is the second time that they're here this season. And again, producing such a good racing product. Again, Happy, which is the owner of Green Flag Racing. And then obviously here in the inaugural season, wanted to come back here twice because why not? And obviously for him, it being such a good race there in race number 1, decided to come back 3 wide here going into turn number 3. Again, 3 straight stages here tonight. And obviously if you're new to GFR, like a lot of us are, mandatory pit stops. Mandatory pit stops, as you'll have to stop twice in stage number 1, twice in stage number 2, and then again twice in stage number 3. Let's ride on board here with Happy as we'll take you and crank it up here for just a moment. Get Happy. Looking like he's going to be able to run away with this one, but not so fast as we head into turn number 3. Loaderman, a lot of talk in the driver group chat, so we heard in the garage area earlier today. Loaderman just joined the league. Actually, earlier this morning, a lot of the drivers pretty upset about that because of how fast that he is. Now, again, a very have seen out of Loaderman. He said, listen, I'm nothing to really be feared by any means here, but, he's only been racing online for just a short amount of time. Like a lot of NASCAR fans, he's a big Chevrolet, big Hendrick guy. Says back in the day, Dale Sr. was his favorite guy, but now he's moved on to Kyle Larson, who we got to watch win the Xfinity race here today. Again, first start this season and on the pole, competing with him there, driving that 20 car. We've talked about him already. C-Fan, again, been racing online for over 5 years. And what he's done in these past 3 races has been nothing short of just spectacular. Able to win the last 3 races. Won 5 out of the last 6 stages that have been stage 1 and stage 2. And in fact, he's won 8 out of the last 9 stages overall. As you can take this overhead view of him, Dunlap right behind him. Dunlap there in the 66 car. He's about Dunlapped everybody this season, if you will, but just has not been able to get that ever so needed victory. As Happy's going to make a move back there inside on Loaderman. Nesta there piloting the 22 car here this evening. As, again, Nesta, who's actually raced with a lot of these guys before, 38-year-old from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Chose a 22 car because, well, he kind of wanted to be a bit of the enemy here. He loves that enemy aspect that Joey Logano brings in the Cup Series and kind of wanted to go with that as well. As you see back out front there, Loaderman has retaken the lead. Nesta trying to get something going there on the high line here at Las Vegas here in the round of 12. C-Fan is the only man who was able to punch his ticket to the next round. Obviously, Happy's going to be looking pretty good throughout these playoffs. He was the regular season champ, and unlike we see in the NASCAR Cup Series, there will be 3 different rounds, but it'll be a round of 12. This will have an elimination race at Bristol next week, which will be an elimination race to the round of 8, and then we don't go from 8 to 4. We'll have the round of 8, and then one more round after that. That will be a round of 6. And then that will cut us down into the championship race that will be at Charlotte. So, again, some guys have kind of fallen off there in the back. You see most of this pack is kind of stuck together, including the 9 car of Twoon. As the 9 car stays time Hendrick fan he is. And, again, his first start of the season here tonight, but he's very familiar to racing online is Twoon. As again, he's won actually 2 championships in a previous truck slider series. He's actually won one in a cup slider series as well. Said, I've come oh so close in a lot of these custom series. He's really been enjoying and seeing what GFR has been able to do on their social media networks and whatnot, and decided, hey, why don't I try to join it? Let's take a look back here up front. As we thought Happy maybe had the car to beat. He was able to win that night Las Vegas race. He's fallen back to 3rd as Dark Knight has come back stronger to the front. Dark Knight, we mentioned earlier, has 1 win this season as that came at Darlington. But everybody's just kind of filed in behind Loaderman. Again, a big-time reputation he carries here on these PlayStation lobbies in NASCAR Heat 5 is a guy that you don't want to get in a lobby with because it's pretty much going to be a fight for second. And obviously that has been a great fear here tonight as everybody just kind of split off behind him. Let's take a look at some of the guys, though, that have kind of fallen off behind the pack. Again, Dunlap kind of way behind the pack. The 45 car is kind of fallen behind the pack there in Real Smooth. Real Smooth, 2 top 10s this season. And it seems like when these guys are going to lose the draft here tonight, they're not going to be able to recover too much. C-Fan, though, as we take another look at him, your points leader, still staying up front. A lot of guys maybe saw that lap 1 crash between the 5 car in Beasy and the 24 in Hellraiser, and maybe starting to think a little bit better about what was going on there up front. As the 19 car turns left, going through the grass. As Biker there, able to get it back on track, but kind of lost some of his momentum. Biker, they call him the OG here in this series, getting ready to turn 70 later this year. I don't think the OG had that one playing there. Maybe thought about going to the pits and then thought better of it. Is getting pretty deep in this race now on lap 20. Again, here on lap 20 here in this second round of 12 playoff race. Is again, stage number 1 is going to be somewhere at about 40 laps. And again, a 2-stopper here in the first stage. Again, 2 mandatory stops. So first stop should be coming up. Oh, Biker down there in the bad stuff. He's sideways back across the track, and that's not going to be good for him as he slams into the outside fence. Again, we're going to see if they end up calling a caution here. Again, does not look good for Biker. Cannot get it back going back into the outside fence. As you see Jay White on pit road, a lot of other guys going to start coming as well here. Dunlap staying out. Again, it looks like we will stay green, but green flag pit stops have begun. So again, 2 stops here in stage number 1. A lot of those stops happened on the first one. As you see the 48 car barely able to get in. Hellraiser going to stay out here in lead a lap. But let's see what's going on down on pit road. You'd have to assume, obviously, 2 fuel cans of fuel and 4 Goodyear racing tires is what we're going to look like and going to see here. Again, so far, class of the field, if you're just joining us, really has been that 48 car in Loaderman, the 4 car in Happy, which he won here in the first race of the year. Both of those cars look like those to beat, but hey, Nesta in the 22 and then also in the 20C fan running up front as well. Again, a lot of pack racing here early, as it looks like the 24 car, you see them go by there on your screen and going into turns 1 and 2. Looks like he's going to try to stay out and perhaps flip the stage. We saw Dunlap stay out there as well. 16 car of Jay White pitted early here in this cycle, so he's able to get back out there as well. And now this big group that we've seen bunched up front, led by Loaderman, got to exit pit road and rejoin back here on the backstretch. Again, so this should give them enough gas to get to the end of stage number 1. And, man, tell you what, Happy has dominated stages this season. He's won 12 of them, to be exact. He swept the stages twice this season at New Hampshire and Kansas. And, again, perhaps that could be another sign of things to come from what we've seen out of him this season. Again, the 48 car of Loaderman here is in the lead, as Happy had to come back down pit road. Again, an interesting turn of events for Happy, so we'll keep an eye on that. Again, Loaderman still out here and still looking good up front here today. As, again, actually up front now is going to be the 8 car there of Dark Knight. He and Loaderman battling up front. Again, green flag pit stops can really shake things out here in the GFR Racing Series. Again, we've seen it happen quite a lot here. If you're a player, obviously in NASCAR Heat 5, you know that cautions come out. You can either do the strict or you can do the loose caution, those settings. However, here, call a lot of manual cautions, as I'm sure those who have played in racing leagues before. So say 2 guys get tangled up and the caution doesn't automatically display by the game. A manual could be called, and it's kind of like old school times where you end up racing back to the line. Talk about a race. Like we were 3 wide down there for a little bit as the 48 car went down there on the apron. Don't think that meant to happen. Comes back up and connects with the 22 car of Nesta. Looks like these guys are going to try and flip the stage a little bit. So perhaps guys maybe wanting to make another extra stop, as looks like that's what Happy was doing. Again, you'll see guys do a lot of that as well. Pit strategy, really kind of unpredictable. You never know what these guys are thinking. You could literally come in and pit on lap 19 and come in a pit again on lap 20, say, if you needed to get both of your mandatory pit stops out of the way. That is what you could choose to do. Obviously, but chose not to. Now we'll look back here at the HendrickCars.com number 5 car of BZ Booth. If you think that name sounds familiar, it's because it is. He's the co-host of this podcast here on the Checkered Past and Present. BZ, one of the cars here, the 10 cars here that are eligible still for the championship. So again, BZ piloting that number 5 car, obviously one of his favorites there in Mr. Kyle Larson. He grew up a big-time Jeff Gordon fan as well back in the day. Let's check in with our 8th-place runner here in Mr. Happy. Again, we saw him kind of do that double flip there on the pit stops. An interesting strategy, to say the least. Again, we got 12 competitors here tonight. Happy is running in 8th position. As he comes out of turn number 2 into turn number 4. So let's take a look back in with our leader here in Dark Knight. It's actually going to be on pit road. So again, we saw Dark Knight stay out, even though those other guys went out and ran about 5 laps on their tires. He's going to come back in, and we're going to see how everything shakes out now that he's on pit road and see who ends up getting that lead from it. Again, old man Nesta, we've seen him be entangled in some stuff here tonight. Very aggressive racing out of that 22 car. A lot of what we see there in real life many times. Again, so still going to see if Dark Knight is going to come out with the lead or not here off of pit road. It is going to be close. We saw a lot of guys, again, try to flip the stage almost there. As now he will be coming off of pit road. We'll ride on board with him as he'll merge back onto the track. As he will lose the lead just barely, as a 48 car there of Loderman will retake the lead. So again, we saw a lot of packed stage racing up front here in stage number 1, and now guys have started to fan out here as we're getting deeper into the stage. Loderman leads, C-Fan running second. Again, we mentioned it, C-Fan has won about everything there has been to one here in the last 3 weeks. He leads the points. He's locked into the round of 8. And now here as we're getting close to the end of stage number 1, will he have anything here to challenge Loderman? So again, coming to the flag stand here, this will be coming to 7 to go. 7 to go here in stage number 1. Looking like C-Fan doesn't want to make a whole lot of movements here yet. Just kind of playing in his cards here. You're seeing those 3 right there, along with Real Smooth behind C-Fan. Those 3 kind of all stacking in behind each other. So it'll be interesting again to see what kind of strategy plays out here. Again, everybody has made their mandatory 2 pit stops, so we don't have to worry about that. But we're really looking at the battle here up front. Again, they just took 6 to go here at the end of stage number 1. Loderman, again, not eligible for the championship, but is running here in the second round of the playoffs. Just joined GFR this morning, as it looks like C-Fan thought about looking there to the inside. Now we'll look to the outside, as we'll actually look elsewhere through the pack. Happy finally caught another driver. He was running just test laps, it seemed, there for a while, as he's caught back up to Twoon. Nesta's running in the 4th position there in front of Beasy. So again, it'll be interesting to see here how everything shakes out towards the end here now of stage number 1. Again, stage number 1, 3 stages here. If you're wondering what the settings are for the race, it is going to be a 50% race here. So a 200-miler in Las Vegas, 3 times tire and fuel wear. And again, with those mandatory pit stops, 2 in the first 2 stages, and then 3 coming there in the final stage. So again, the man that has dominated a large part of the race here tonight continues to lead. Looks like it's been pretty hard to pass here tonight, especially to pass that man. Happy got out and led a good handful the first 10 laps, and then he was able to trade back and forth there with Loderman. But once Loderman was able to get back out front, nobody's really been able to touch him. He flipped the 2 stages there as he went in and only ran about 4 laps of green flag racing and came right back in, made that mandatory second pit stop. C-Fan has mirrored the strategy that we've seen out of Loderman here tonight. And again, we're getting down towards the end of stage number 1. So coming to the line this time, this will be now 2 to go. 2 to go here at the end of stage number 1. C-Fan really starting to look towards the inside. They're catching lap traffic here on the back stretch. Is this going to be the 24 car of Hellraiser and the 19 car of Biker? So they're going to be racing, it would appear, to see who can stay on the lead lap. Again, nobody's been able to stay out of the way of Loderman here tonight. C-Fan's going to go to the apron here early, as now looks like one more time around, yes, one more time around it would appear here. It's actually just getting word 2 more laps to go. Again, 2 more laps to go here. Sorry for the technical difficulties there. 2 more laps to go, as now Hellraiser has moved in behind of Loderman, and it's kind of flared him out. His stage to lose here is now, this will be the white flag here in stage number 1. A stage that in his GFR debut, Loaderman has absolutely dominated. C-Fan running second there. It looks like that's where he's going to be and have to be content to run here tonight. He has won 11 out of the last 12 stages here, but doesn't look like he's going to be able to win that one here tonight. So Loaderman off of turn number 4 will come to the green and white checkered flag and win stage number 1. So as they come across, we will get the running order here for you. Happy comes off of 4 along with Twoon, and they will take the green and white checkered flag as well. And again, we will give you the stage results here shortly. So in stage number 1, again, we're getting those results here. Loaderman finishes first. C-Fan going to finish second. Dunlap was able to come in third. As coming in fourth, Nesta Beasy finishing fifth in the stage. Dark Knight sixth. Happy seventh. Twoon finishing eighth there, and then ninth, Hellraiser, and then Real Smooth able to finish it out. Interesting to note, Hellraiser did finish ninth, but 1 lap down. So again, an interesting stage 1 finish. Nonetheless, as we start now, stage number 2. As C-Fan, who finished second. Again, a lot of top 2s here for him recently. He'll start on the high side as we, again, begin stage number 2. This is going to be 37 laps. Again, they're going to have to stop twice. Fuel life is going to be at about 20 laps here, so it is seemed tonight. But again, still got to make those mandatory 2 stops. As just as we saw there in the early parts of stage number 1, a lot of side-by-side racing here up front. As C-Fan trying to pack it down low. He got caught with some laugh traffic there at the end of stage number 1 and really was not able to challenge Loaderman to end the stage. Perhaps he'll have something for him if he can stay in his draft. As let's move back throughout the pack. Again, Happy, we talked about him, the man who won here in Las Vegas number 1 this season. Maybe didn't get the pit strategy that he wanted there. Ended up finishing P7 there in stage number 1. As unlike stage number 1 here in the early parts of stage number 2, not seeing as much 2x2 racing. Again, we've only had 1 caution flag tonight, obviously outside of the stage number 1 end, as it was a wreck between Hellraiser and Beasy, the 5 and the 24 car on lap number 1. They got tangled up coming out of turn number 2 on the inaugural lap here tonight of this playoff race. But since then, they have been both able to recover. Beasy there got a top 5 finish in stage number 1. Hellraiser finished 9th there in stage number 1 and was able to become the lucky dog there at the end of the stage. Again, a lot more traditional 1.5 mile racing here in stage number 2, but guys aren't really getting spread out until they start pitting. It's really been the biggest trend I think that we've seen here this evening. As again, you're starting to see some guys start to flare back. The 24 car has been off the pace a little bit here tonight. You have to wonder if that first lap crash is kind of throwing him off here tonight. Also interesting to look back there and see that Biker maybe is a little bit farther off the pace than we're used to seeing him. Again, Biker has been racing online for about 5 years. He's followed NASCAR on and off, he said, from the late 70s to the early 90s, and then finally just kind of fell in love with the sport there in the mid-90s. Was a big fan of Dale Jarrett in his heyday, and then since he retired, his paint scheme that he's running here tonight kind of tells you who he's pulled for the last 20 years, that being Mr. Martin Truex Jr. Back to the front here, as we'll look back up front at the 48 car of Loaderman. Again, he's led almost every lap here tonight, for about the exception of 5. And again, just absolutely dominated. You'd have to wonder Maybe has it been because nobody's tried to make a serious move on him yet as they all kind of shift up the track. Dunlap moves them up. Nesta makes a little contact there with the 8 car of Dark Knight. As Dark Knight lost about 4 positions there on that move in 1 and 2. So everybody was able to get under him. And that lets the front 2 cars of the 48 and the 20 kind of squirm away a little bit. Everybody settles back in line, but Dark Knight cannot be happy. He got the raw end of the deal on that last move there in turn number 2. Is now Happy starting to rip the high side, something he was loving here as Dunlap slams into the wall. Dark Knight looks like he gave him a little bit too hard of a shove there coming down the back straightaway. Again, this is an interesting watch right now as these guys have just been banking on each other the past couple of laps. Again, clean racing. Haven't had a caution yet, knock on wood, but again, continuing to kind of bang it around back there. There's 29 to go. Coming to 28 to go this time here in stage number 2. Stage 1 winner, the same guy that's leading right now here in Mr. Loaderman. Again, we're Brett Loftus here, and we are the Checkered Past and Present YouTube page. I'm Brett Loftus here, as this is the inaugural season of the Green Flag Racing League. Race number 12 here at Las Vegas, 50% here tonight, so we're running 200 miles here in 3 stages, times 3 wear. Standard, really, for a lot of NASCAR Heat 5 leagues. And starting to see a little bit more 2x2 action towards the front. Happy, you had to think he was going to continue to knock on the door at some point as he's moved back closer to the front, really starting to use that high line. Maybe laying some more rubber up there throughout the race. That high line's starting to come back in. You see the 9 car there of Twoon following him up top. 3 wide entering the corner as they flare back out. So now having to contend with C-Fan in the 20 car and Happy in the 4 car is going to be that 48 up front of Loaderman. As Happy is getting a big run coming out of turn number 4 as we're getting really interesting here towards the halfway point of stage number 2 as it looked like Happy was able to lead that last lap. As again, 2x2 now, 26 to go here in stage number 2. Very reminiscent of what you've seen on the new Atlanta tracks. As that top line is really getting a lot of momentum. Starting to see Loaderman move up and maybe block there a little bit. Let's ride on board here with Happy as he will take you, and we'll crank it up a lap with him. So while we were cranking it up there with Happy, he was able to lead the last couple of laps. And he's really the guy right now that looks to challenge Loaderman. About the only guy right now that looks like he can challenge Loaderman is C-Fan. He's been the guy there. You see him in that 20 car. He snuck down to the apron a lot here tonight. But Happy, taking a lot of time, has finally been able to get back up to the front. And look who's right behind him. That colorful yellow and red car of Mr. Nesta there in the 22 car. Starting to move a lot of those usual suspects there of stage number 1 back. C-Fan, I think this is the lowest running position he's had during a green flag cycle in quite some time. The guy, again, that's won everything there has been won here in GFR the past couple of weeks. Has fallen back now deep in the pack, at least for him, to 8th place. And again, 22 to go as we got to be getting near another green flag pit cycle. Again, you're only going to run about 20 laps here on a tank of fuel. 37 laps here in stage number 2. As, hitting the wall there, Dark Knight, and hitting Nesta as he spins through the grass. And that looks like that might end up being a caution. As Nesta will come to rest, they continue to race. We'll see now if they race back to the line or if we end up displaying a caution. Biker ended up going down pit road. CJ White has fallen off the pace. Hellraiser lagging behind, and Loaderman leading him out of turn number 4 as he'll go down pit road. So it looks like we will stay green here. Thought maybe we would have had a manual caution, but here in the GFR Green Flag Racing League, if it's no more than one car, if it's just a single car incident, then you will only have just that single car and no caution. So again, obviously, having these green flag pit cycles now, Happy, C-Fan, Twoon, and Dunlap all going to come down pit road this time. It's be interesting to see now how Nesta will be able to recover as he comes down pit road, and he'll pit this time as well. If you just seen, he just spun through the grass, did not have a caution though. Again, because it was a single car incident, he and Dark Knight made contact coming out of turn number 4, which sent him twirling through the infield grass. He was still able to run one more lap. Actually ran 2 more laps, pardon me there, before he got down the pit road. They're going to fix some of that damage. It's about a 20-second pit stop for him before he will exit pit road. Beasy, looks like he's got a little damage. We've seen that from earlier there in stage number 1. He's come early tonight to pit road, and we've seen that a couple of times out of him. Nesta coming back off of pit road, real smooth. Haven't talked about him a lot tonight, but he's just kind of been quiet up front. Again, 10th in points. He's the last guy in the playoff standings right now. A top 5 finish for him, something he hasn't had this season. Could be really, really, really season-changing for him, as 2 guys will be eliminated next week after Bristol. Make sure you join us here, as that will be right here on the Checker Pass and Present YouTube page, the official broadcast partner of the Green Flag Racing League. 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern, again, every Saturday night here on the Checker Pass and Present YouTube channel. Again, we'll look back out front. Obviously, usual scene of Loaderman, and running in second now, Dark Knight. Dark Knight, 9 top 10s this season, as he's trying to reel in Loaderman. As again, one more pit stop got to be made. We saw a lot of guys try to only run about 4 or 5 green flag laps there and really stretch that last big run of stage number 1. So one would have to assume we'd see a lot of the same here. Everybody pitted with about anywhere from 21 to 25 laps to go there in that middle stretch. We've now got under 20 to go. As this time by, that's going to be 16 to go. 16 to go here in stage number 2. Looks like Dark Knight, just like C-Fan was when he was running behind him earlier, able to stay in good behind that 48 car, but not able to pass him. That 8 car is going to look inside this time. Dark Knight has that bottom line, but maybe not the preferred line. We saw Happy on the first big green flag run here in stage number 2. Drive through the field from 7th and able to drive all the way up to the front. Actually led about 4 laps, but wasn't able to stay up front. And right now, Dark Knight maybe just holding them both back for that big-time pack behind them. As you saw Nesta smack the outside wall coming out of turn number 4. But C-Fan leading Dunlap as well as Twoon. Those 3 making a really big impact and a really big run right now, and able to catch up to that front pack. So the front 5 cars here now with 14 to go. Again, starting to see guys kind of flare out. It's interesting to see the different line. Again, just like we've seen Vegas in recent years, the high line not always preferred, but neither is the low line as well. And now C-Fan, that big pack behind him, as well as two more cars, going to come in and pit. Jay White in the 16, as well as the 45 we spoke about just moments ago there in Real Smooth. So coming here early, we're going to see how big of an impact that'll end up making here tonight. As Loaderman continues to stay out. Dark Knight going to abandon ship, and they're going to go down pit road. So again, here in the Green Flag Racing League, everybody having to communicate in a driver's only chat throughout the race, so everybody knows when everybody's going to pit. So Loaderman has stayed out one more lap longer than Dark Knight, who was his running mate. Stayed out 2 laps longer than that big group behind him, but finally going to come down pit road. Looked like he got in pretty hot there. But looked like he got in time. So again, 10 laps to go as he crosses the start-finish line there on pit road. So we'll see now how everything will end up shaking out as he comes back out of the pits. As we'll go back out to the track now, look at Dark Knight. He was running right behind him, so you'd have to think now, as close as he was running to him, able to pit 1 lap earlier, I should say, could that end up making the difference here? Nesta, currently the man in the lead, will follow along with him. He has already pitted here in stage number 2. Again, Nesta, he's had a lot to hold on to there up front. He's looked really good up front when he's been able to get up there, as he actually even challenged for the lead a little bit, a couple times up front. So we'll continue to ride along with him here. Again, he's got a big-time gap to second place right now, that being C-Fan. So we'll see how long that'll be able to hold up. Looking back at C-Fan, he's challenged up front for the lead a little bit here tonight. Actually had a chance to win the stage there in stage number 1. Again, trying to continue his winning ways. He's already locked in, trying to bolster his point standing there as we move in to round number 3 of the round of 12 here next week as we go to the last great Coliseum at Bristol. And as we all know, that can mess up anybody's chances for a win there. Nesta going to come down pit road. So it already pitted once, now going to pit again. So we will see again what he'll end up coming out at. Taking 4 Goodyear tires. We talked about Beasy a little bit here tonight. A guy who could really use a good points night there in 7th place. He's really made great strides throughout the year this year and really could use another good night here this evening. Again, a guy who was able to partner along with Happy here in that 4 car here tonight. Really, the biggest reason why we've been able to have these broadcasts have been Beasy. Again, partnering along with Happy here in the Green Flag Racing League. This being our inaugural broadcast of the inaugural season here of the Green Flag Racing League. And again, so happy that we have been able to partner together and been able to put on such a product as this. Let's go back in and check in with C-Fan, who that time around just came to, if I'm not mistaken, there's 6 to go. So C-Fan is in the lead here in stage number 2. And again, a stage in which has absolutely been dominated, a race that has been absolutely dominated tonight by a Loaderman there in the 48 car. In Dunlap, going to be in 2nd. Loaderman in 3rd. Dark Knight in 4th. And Twoon there in the 9 car running in 6th. check in with Twoon. You see him come past the stripes as that was coming again to 5 to go. So it looks like C-Fan got a pretty commanding lead here on the field. Again, able to execute his pit stops there pretty perfectly. Dunlap, though, trailing right behind him, about a second and a half back. Beasy trying to fight and stay on the lead lap. Again, this time around, it's going to be coming to 3 laps to go here in stage number 2. C-Fan trying to win his 9th stage in the last now 4 races. Domination, really, in a word. Actually, Happy was joking around with the guys during happy hour the other night and told him, he said, listen, we cannot let this guy win anymore. We're tired of seeing the 20 car in victory lane, and, well, that doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon as he continues to dominate here in GFR. As this time by, it'll be 2 to go at the flag stand here in stage number 2 at Las Vegas. Again, at this 200-mile race here in the second round of the playoffs. C-Fan already locked himself in to the next round last week. And then there in the 66 car Dunlap, you can see on board with him, he's about a little under half a straightaway back, over 30 car lengths behind C-Fan. Dunlap, again, second in the points this season. This has kind of been a microcosm of his season thus far. Does not have a win yet, but has done everything else but win this season. As we'll go back here to C-Fan, who's been battling along with Beasy. Been some good sportsmanship here. Has not passed Beasy and really could to put him a lap down. Beasy, though, to his credit, has really fought him off well. C-Fan coming out of turn number 4. Continuing this dominating stretch he's been on as he will win stage number 2 here at Las Vegas. So C-Fan wins stage number 2. Dunlap comes in second. As we'll take a full look here at your top 10 momentarily. Loaderman ended up finishing third there in a stage. Dark Knight fourth. Twoon in 5th. So again, that's going to be your top 5. So Loaderman with a really, really good night in points thus far. 18 points he's been able to stack up. C-Fan, though, going to end up with the most stage points through 2 stages with 19 as he finished third there in stage number 1. Or excuse me, second there in stage number 1 and able to win it here in stage number 2. Finishing out, Hellraiser 6th there in stage number 2. Nest the 7th. Beasy in 8th, able to fight his way and stay on the lead lap. Real Smooth comes in 9th, and Jay White rounds out the top 10. So name not there. The 4 car of Happy. We saw him have a few issues there on pit road. Not able to come in the top 10. As now we are going to start stage number 3. Final stage here. And again, 3 mandatory pit stops in this stage as we come to the green and white checkered. And we are back under green here in Las Vegas. Only 1 caution flag tonight. That was displayed on lap number 1. Since then, we have been green outside of the stage breaks. A very clean race here in the second round of the round of 12 here in the Green Flag Racing League. As you see, and we have seen before every green flag pit stop here tonight, very exciting 2x2 racing. As the 48 car being real aggressive here right out of the gate. Let's go right on board here with Loaderman. Again, we saw the opposite view earlier. C-Fan was riding behind Loaderman. But now Loaderman, can he be the man who pushes C-Fan to a race win here tonight. Again, still a very long way to go. 50 laps to be exact here in the race. 134 on the docket this time. There's again 3 mandatory pit stops here in stage number 3. We've seen the fuel life about 20 laps tonight. Tires have not really fallen off to a dangerous level in those 20 laps. So how will guys play? So again, being very conservative here to start the stage, and really track position has been key. Happy, as we mentioned it, looks like he might have lost connection earlier in the race. That could be a sign of why he did not come in the top 10 there in stage number 2. So that's a big-time bummer for the man third in points here in GFR. As back out front, Dark Knight starting to use that high line to his advantage. So it looks like Happy will not be able to finish the race. Well, we see who will be able to battle it up. We've talked about Nesta a lot tonight. They're in that 22 car. He's been able to get up front in these early runs, but the fuel cycles in his pit life have just not played out to the way he's wanted it to. Came in 4th there in stage number 1, and then there in stage number 3, Nesta ended up finishing in 7th. So still picked up some stage points here tonight in that 22 car, but again, during these runs early on in the stage, it seems like he could have a car to compete for the win. So if we get a late race restart, perhaps a green-white checkered, could Nesta be a guy to look out for? Again, back to that 2x2. Beasy been another guy tonight we've seen off the pace at times. Able to fight and claw to keep his car on the lead lap earlier, as Dunlap got a little bit shifted back up going into turn number 1. As we'll keep an eye on him, as he kind of got shot out of the back there. He's ran top 3 at times here tonight. Everybody really showing speed. It's really just been who's been able to position themselves in good looks with that 48 car. As Loaderman still riding behind Dark Knight, Nesta has went to the high line, and Nesta led that last lap. His first lap he has led all night long. So now he will now have control of not only one but both lanes here. Beasy starting to move closer to the front. A lot of guys that we saw show some speed in qualifying, now starting to show it here in stage number 3. Obviously a win monumental, as important as it could be all season long, locking you into the next round of the playoffs. C-Fan locked himself into the next round with a win at Michigan last week. As Beasy's going to look to the low side here. And getting in behind Ness, the Dark Knight. He's looked and had a promising car all night as well. It's really going to come down to how these final 3 pit stops play out for everyone. Beasy kind of gets hung out to dry there on the bottom line. 8 continues to connect there with the 22. And the 22 car has led the last now, if he's able to lead this lap, be the last 5 laps. As Dark Knight looks to the inside, and Dark Knight, like he actually led that last lap. So, again, Dark Knight now in double digits in laps led with 10 here this evening. Happy led the first 4, and then it seemed like the next 50 were led by Real Smooth. I mean, he absolutely dominated the middle part of this race. C-Fan got out and led a lot there at the end of stage number 2, actually able to win the stage. And then here at the beginning of stage number 3, I mean, it really looks like it could be anybody's race right now, as Nesta in the 22 car leads that last lap. As again, 41 laps to go, 41 to go here in the stage in the race. And since we got this much racing up front, we'll go right on board with Nesta and crank it up for a few laps. Dark Knight back up front, and well, look who else is also up front. That Hendrick Motorsports number 48 car of Loaderman. Getting a big-time Hendrick fan in his own right, as now you're riding on board with Beasley, who's going to come down pit road here and make an early pit stop, the earliest of anybody, maybe trying to gain some track position here, is that number 5 car. 45 in the 9 car, you see, also coming down pit road as well. That big pack up front, perhaps they want to stay together. As the 48 car's got back out in the lead there in Loaderman. C-Fan, you see there on your screen, still riding up front. You got to think with these other guys starting to come down pit road, everybody else is too. In 3 mandatory pit stops here in stage number 3. Everybody you see here still running up front. The 48, the 8, the 20, 24, 22, and the 66. Oh, have not pitted yet. Oh, C-Fan gets shuffled out. Able to save it, but moves right up in front of the 8 car there in Dark Knight. That's really going to hurt. Oh, they're wrecking down the back stretch. The 20 and the 8 involved. Also involved is 16 of Jay White. And that is going to be a caution flag here on lap 100. And at the time of the caution, only 6 guys on the lead lap. So staying out there was really the move. We saw Beasy be the first guy to come down pit road, kind of playing his hand, trying to get some track position, and well, in a race that has stayed green all night long since lap number 1, this is the time a caution decided to come out. As we saw the 8 and the 20 not seem too pleased with each other. As coming back inside of the restart zone, Loaderman and Hellraiser on the front row will lead them to green. Be interesting to see now in what has been a clean race, how will everything start to shake out here towards the end. Guys getting a little more aggressive with 32 to go. Is that last caution coming out on lap number 100. So we had a caution on lap number 1 and lap number 100. As Loaderman still leading them here. He has led the majority of the laps here tonight. Don't have the official count, but he's not too many from locking that in and leading over half the race tonight. As I know we don't run the old school format here in the Green Flag Racing League, but if we did, he would definitely lock in those 10 extra bonus points. Nesta and C-Fan running up front. Again, Nesta, a guy we've talked about here tonight, but again, really could have a chance at winning this race. Again, just pending on how these final 2 pit stops end up playing out. Again, under 30 to go if you're just joining us. Stage number 1, won there by Loaderman. Stage 2, won by the 20 car there in C-Fan. is real smooth. Has been real smooth at times tonight. Needing a clean night, needing to pick up some points. It's really been the biggest thing out of the 45 car, who sits 10th in points right now. Again, does not want to be sitting there on the bubble heading to Bristol next week. Happy, we noted, as we'll go take a look down pit road, is out of the race here tonight. So the man who's sitting third in points in the regular season champ, still looking like and looking comfortable to be able to compete in the championship and obviously compete in the next week. But again, almost reminiscent of Chase Elliott back in 2022, winning the regular season championship, and then his playoffs just not starting out on a very promising foot. It's again 25 laps to go here at the line. There's Loaderman. And that guy that we've talked about so much here tonight, but what has there not been to talk about him? When you're able to dominate a race such as the 48 car has been here tonight, obviously we're going to be able to harp on him and talk about him here a lot. And again, these last two pit stops going to be extremely interesting to see how these guys will manage it out. We could see the happy, as we'll call it, come in and pit, turn around, run a lap, and come right back in and pit. Because once you get with about 21, 22 to go, those two pit stops could be very close by each other. The fuel window, anywhere from 18 to 22 laps we've seen here tonight. As Loaderman continuing to pace the field out front. Everybody won and bunched up right now, running right up near the wall. Hellraiser back there in the 24 car. We've caught his name a few times here tonight. But he is ripping the high line, the Larson line, many will call it nowadays. Again, high line has really caught more traction there in stage 2 and 3 as predicted as the track is warmed up. Dunlap ran P2 a lot of that stage number 2, but has fallen back here in the pack. Twoon here tonight driving that 9 car, his first start of the season. He is obviously impressed. Ran with Happy before and an easy add into the league. But also joining the league today was that 22 car, Nesta, and what he's been able to do. Run up front. Most of the stages 2 and 3. He could be the guy to look at for the win as he just smacked the outside wall there, and that opened the door for Twoon. Be easy taking a peek underneath. As a little broadcaster jinx. Oh, they're all shifting on the back stretch. Everybody moves under the 22 car. As that mistake there in turn number 1 really cost them a lot of positions. C-Fan trying to block Beasy there. Beasy almost got caught a lap down at the end of stage number 2. Then pitted early here before that last caution on lap 100. Almost got caught a lap down there, but then ended up getting the wave around. Everybody on the lead lap had to come down pit road. He's fought his way back to the front here tonight, but it just doesn't seem like anybody has anything for this man. Loaderman continues to lead out front. As before next batch of green flag pit stops, we have to think they're coming here soon. We are going to ride on board with Loaderman and let him give you the sounds of Las Vegas. Loaderman still leads out front here at Las Vegas, but Twoon there in that 9 car starting to get up there and mix it up. As again, these green flag pit stops have to believe that they're going to be coming here soon, as Twoon able to lead this lap. That last lap, completed lap 116, which is now going to put us at just 18 laps to go here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So one more pit stop could send you the rest of the way. How will everybody manage it out here? Seeing that 24 car of Hellraiser come down pit road. So he's down pit road, but nobody else has followed him quite yet. The 9 car has proven that he is going to be a real competitor here in this league tonight. Driving through the pack and to the front. Nesta, interesting to see him back up there in 3rd place after falling behind. Let's take a look here on pit road as the 5 is going to come down, as well as the 45 of Beasy there in the 5 car. Then the 45 are real smooth. So again, Beasy going to pull and try to do the same thing that he did earlier before that caution came out on lap 100 and try to flip the stage and try to pit over everybody else and gain some track position. Let's take a look back at the front of the pack. They're going to still stay on track. Again, that 24 car there, Hellraiser, you see him out front, up ahead of this league pack. He's trying not to go 2 laps down. He just pitted. As the 48 car has been able to get way out front. Now the 5 and the 45 are going to come down off of pit road. Looks like this front pack will be pitting this time. As the 48, yep, will slow up. Here comes the 22, the 66, the 8, and the 20. Could be the money stop here for these teams tonight as they come down pit road. Again, Nesta almost wore down his right front tire there, as you're able to look there on his stream. And Beasy coming right back down. Again, everybody's got to make at least one more stop after this. This, Beasy's final stop of the night, though. He just comes in for gas and go. So Beasy made his final stop. The 45 car also able to make his final stop tonight there. And real smooth. Everybody else has to do the same. So now with 14 to go, it'll be 13 here at the line. What will be the move of everyone else? Again, the 48 of Loaderman still leads. Pit strategy obviously going to play a really, really, really big role. Loaderman somehow went in all cluckered up with everyone else, but came out with such a big lead. And here in GFR, with those mandatory 3 pit stops in stage number 3, some guys are choosing to come in and do them right by each other, like the 5 and the 45. Some others are choosing to stay out and maybe gain some more track position before they go back in. Interesting move, to say the least, but when you've shown the speed during these green flag stretches tonight like the 48 has, why not continue to stay out and gain some more speed on track? So again, 11 to go. We saw the 5 and the 45. Again, just to recap, they came in with about 3 laps of one another. As the 48 goes down to the white line, that will signify he will come in again this time. So the 48 car will be coming down the pit road, or at least we assume, yes, no, he will. He and the 22 car are going to come this time. This will be their final pit stops here tonight. So we see now the 8 and the 20 still remain. They will have to come down pit road here soon. The 48, as well as the 19 also coming down pit road. Looks like the 20 and the 8 are going to come down pit road this time. And again, not needing fuel, not needing tires. It's really more or less a pass-through here for these guys on this final pit stop tonight. Unless you need a wedge, unless you need an air pressure adjustment, there's no need for you to get anything done. And that's exactly what we've seen the 48 and the 22 do. Pretty much just a pass-through penalty, if you will, because of these 3 required pit stops. There you see the 5 car. Beasy tried to flip those pit stops. He's right up here with the leaders. But the 48 car still able to have such good strategy. He's going to come to 8 to go with about a 25 car length lead. The 20 and the 8 car exiting pit road now. And again, continuing to watch this race. But it's the 24 car who is actually the man in the lead right now. So Hellraiser, we have not gotten word if he's made that 3rd pit stop yet or not. And if he hasn't, he has really been able to flip the field here. As this time around, that is now 7 to go. So again, he has gotten way out in front of everybody else. As you see, Loader Man, he's running 2nd. C-Fan there in 3rd. The 8 car there, Dark Knight, in 4th. Nesta in 5th, and then Beasy in 6th. They're all running together. Hellraiser, though, way out in front of the rest of the pack. He just took 6 to go. So again, if somehow Hellraiser has been able to flip the field, this is going to be something of legends. He won the race at Texas earlier this season. He's 5th in points. He has only won 2 stages all year. That was stage number 3 at Texas, obviously. And he also won a stage at Las Vegas where he won the pole. And right now, he's got a big-time lead on the rest of the field. Almost over half the track. So maybe he's trying to manage some tire wear here. Again, unclear if he took 2 tires or what he ended up doing, but somehow he is way out in front of everybody else. It's coming to the line this time. That was 4 to go now. The 24 car way out in front of anybody else here. The 48 car there of Loader Man, who has really been able to dominate here tonight. You see him just now crossing the start-finish line, and Hellraiser now is going to be now exiting turn number 4. Looks like he's finally going to pit. But like he was going to stretch it out there, but not able to do so. Does have to make that final pit stop. So now we see the 48 car entering turn 3. As you see the 24 car going down pit road, there comes the 48 car. He's coming to the start-finish line. As the 24 car was able to get out and lead some laps, but he will not be able to finish out that pit cycle, as now everything is cycled back out. 48 car back in the lead, and now 3 laps to go. So the question now asked, Dark Knight, they're in the 8 car, Nesta in the 22, C-Fan in the 20. Can that pack put something together as they're coming to 2 to go here at Las Vegas? Everybody flaring out behind him. It's been the man of the night, Loaderman, in his first ever start here in the Green Flag Racing League. Dark Knight gets to his bumper here coming out of turn number 2. The 48 car won stage 1. The 20 car there in C-Fan won stage 2. And the 8 car looks to his inside. Dark Knight looking low. Nesta looking high. They're almost 3 wide coming out of turn number 4. Oh, and Dark Knight slides up. This the white flag here on the Green Flag Racing League on the checkered past and present YouTube page. An exciting finish it seems here on the round of 12. The 8 car slides up the track. Loaderman with tons of asphalt in front of him as he goes down the backstretch one last time. The 49-year-old from West Virginia, just a good old country boy who loves Hendrick Motorsports, is going to come to the checkered flag and win it here in Las Vegas. What a way to end it here in the first ever broadcast of the Green Flag Racing League here on the Checkered Past and Present YouTube channel. Finishing first there, obviously the 48 car of Loaderman. Coming in P2, Dark Knight was strong all evening long. C-Fan coming in third. Another top 3 finish for him. That'll end his 3-race winning streak. Nesta coming in P4 in his first start of the year. And then Beasy, after almost being lapped, was lapped once, and then almost being lapped here at the end of stage 2, falling a lap down because of pit cycle earlier here in stage number 3, ends up finishing 5th, rounding out the top 10 real smooth in 6th. Jay White in 7th, and then in 8th, it's going to end up being Dunlap, Hellraiser, and Knight. We thought he might have enough to end it there at the end of stage number 3, and then Twoon rounding out the top 10. What we are going to do here in the Green Flag Racing League, something we're really, really happy about, we are going to talk to the top 3 finishers. So we'll talk to Loaderman, we will talk to Dark Knight, and we'll also talk to C-Fan here this evening. Again, what a great night of racing that has been. All 3 of those guys. We'll see if we can get them here in the party before we close things out. So again, just a great, great, great night of racing that it has been. Again, C-Fan now going to join us. C-Fan, how are you doing here tonight, my friend?
Pretty good, buddy. How about yourself?
Not sure if we hear C-Fan or not. It's Loaderman also joining us here in the GR Green Flag Racing booth. Soon we're also going to get Dark Knight in here as well. Again, the top 3 finishers are going to join us here in the GFR Racing booth. So we'll take a moment to pause here. See if we can get these guys in here. We'll join you here momentarily. Sir, but seems like we do have everybody now in here. As we'll first talk to our 3rd place finisher, C-Fan. As, again, just a really, really, really good evening here tonight. C-Fan able to come in 3rd, end your 3-race winning streak. Kind of tell us about how the night went for you.
It was pretty good, man. I struggle here at Las Vegas a lot, so my goal was to get a top 3 tonight. So trying to step towards the front there, trying to work the bottom a little bit there, but man, the bottom was just not rolling. So the top line was always, beating me off. It was just super loose on the bottom down there, but we ran up towards the front. We won the stage there in the second stage, so man, the D-Walk Toyota Camry was pretty good tonight. Just didn't have enough for the 48, the 8 car there at the end. It was a little too loose for me.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. That's the only other thing I want to ask you about, and then we'll move on to Dark Knight there in second place. You talk about that low line versus the high line. We really saw the low line work well there in stage one, and then it just completely went away in the last two stages. Why do you think that was?
I just think a lot more guys started running the top there because their cars are a little bit more stable. I mean, you got to really set your car up to run that bottom here, and a lot of guys were committed to run the top, and when you're down there by yourself, a lonely wolf, you're not going to have no help down there, and you'll get freight train on the outside. So, I learned a lot here at Las Vegas, and looking forward to next week, man. I can't wait to get there.
Well, see, Fan, you're locked into the next round, so you're pretty much running on free money anyway. Thank you for joining us here in the Green Flag Racing booth. We look forward to watching that 20 car next week, and maybe he can get back in victory lane. Now we're going to talk to our second place finisher in the 8 car, Dark Knight. This was your 8 top 5 this year. You're coming in 4th in points tonight. It's not that you really needed a good points night, but now you're looking really good going into Bristol next week. Kind of tell us how you're feeling about that.
Feel pretty good, man. A bunch of good group of guys racing, really. I thought it was a pretty good race there. I got to throw out an apology to Lester. I kind of slid up, gripped up into him, even though I was out of the gas there right at the last lap. But, it's their man for itself coming down that last lap. You got to give it all it's got, And I apologize for that. And a shout out to Billy and FTR for the setup, Real good car, real good night. Everybody's pretty respectable to me.
Yeah, we really only seen a little bit of shake-up there. I want to ask you about that incident we seen towards the beginning of stage number 3 down the backstretch. Looked like a racing incident. Kind of tell us what you saw from your perspective.
You talking about the 3-car pileup?
Yes.
we all got bumper hooks, and wasn't nobody could do. It just turned everybody's cars, and it was what it was, Other than that, it was out of everybody's control. It just happened. It's one of them incidents. You have them.
Well, Dark Knight, congratulations on the P2 finish, and congrats on really looking good in points as we move on to Bristol in an elimination race next Saturday.
Appreciate you broadcasting. I'll subscribe to you, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And then our first place finisher, everybody said he was going to win tonight, and, well, he didn't say it, but we pretty much knew it was going to happen. Loader Man, you dominated tonight. You led about almost every lap there in Stage 1 and Stage 3. Stage 2, C-Fan was able to get you there on pick cycling, and we thought there from the broadcast Hellraiser was going to stay out, but inevitably had to come down and make that third and final pit stop there in Stage 3. Just kind of tell us, nobody could pass you what you got out front tonight. What you have in that car, that setup, that you were just able to get out front and go?
Oh, yeah, man, it was a good car. All I know is I got lucky. I'm telling you, these boys, they run well. They got out there and controlled both lanes, man. Worked that near where the run was coming, that's where I went.
And in your first time here in GFR, your first race in this league that Happy and was able to create, just tell us your first impressions. Obviously, it's a good one because you're in victory lane here tonight, but just your first impressions of GFR.
Home on Saturdays to run it, so I didn't enter the league. And I was home tonight, and I got talked to him. I said, man, I like track tonight. But here it is again. Great bunch of races. They're all fast, good group.
Well, you were the fastest tonight. You won the pole, and then you ended up winning the race. Congratulations, Loader Man, on your first win and your first start here this season.
All right, appreciate it. Good run, everybody.
All right.
Congrats, top 3.
It looks like we're going to finish it off here in the booth. It'll be me again, Brett Loftus tonight. Also in here, BZ and Happy. Happy, we got to ask you right quick before we close off the broadcast. What ended up happening to you there in the middle of stage 2? We noticed that they weren't able to finish.
Man, I had a good car, but it blew his motor. It was good until it wasn't.
I got you.
Yeah, I went into pit road and everything was fine, and then all of a sudden, lost connection. I'm like, man.
And then, Happy, we want you to put on your owner hat here right quick. I would assume that you got to watch the broadcast there in stage number 3. What did you think of the first broadcast and hopefully a sign of things to come?
And I love the broadcast. I don't know if you've seen it, but I told you in the food chat right after the egg when I got into watching the screen. You're doing a great job, man. Professional. It sounds like you belong here. Much appreciated you taking the time to do this, along with me, what he does as a sponsorship, between both of y'all. I truly appreciate what both of y'all are doing for this league.
Well, we think
I think this league's going somewhere. We got a good group of guys that are putting on clean races. We get Loader in here. I mean, Loader knows a lot of people. See fans in here. He knows a lot of people. Getting people in here that can attract those people.
Well, we really thank you guys, both at home, for watching us here tonight. We thank everybody for coming out and racing. Thank Beezy for making this partnership happen, and obviously thank Happy for putting on the league here. Again, join us next week, 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. It'll be an elimination race here in the round of 12 at the last Great Coliseum. We'll have the broadcast right here on the Checker Past the Present YouTube page. Congratulations to Loaderman, his first win and his first start, as this has been the Green Flag Racing League, again, on the Checker Past and Present YouTube page.